Morning. Why is it filming the wrong way up?
Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Now, what is it they say about best laid plans? I had a whole video filmed out on a ride on my Insta360 X4. Perfect, took me ages, got back, and the video file was corrupted. How's your luck? So that is why I'm in the office doing this. So the video that I had done was off the back of the 5 things that I'd learned about cycling, or made cycling easier for me as I got older. And I started thinking about things that I wish I'd known when I got back on the bike 10 to 12 years ago. So here are a few things that I wish I'd known when I started cycling. Buying the right size bike is probably the most important thing that you can do when you start cycling. The manufacturers' websites are notoriously bad for giving sizing information. Quite often the availability of frames or the low number of frames available means that the size guides overlap quite a lot. At my height, 173 centimetres, I'm firmly in the middle between a small and a medium frame, and that the overlap is huge. And probably ego drove the fact that I rode medium-sized bikes for years because, you know, I didn't want to ride a small bike. That wasn't me. I was a medium in everything else. It took, for me, watching a lot of bike fit videos, specifically a guy on YouTube called Bike Fit James, who I'll link in the description, for me to realise that actually I was riding the wrong size bike. So when I bought my current bike, the Giant Defy Advanced 1 that I have, I bought it in a small, and the change was incredible. It felt completely different. My position on the bike was different. The power that I was putting through the pedals, with everything felt different. Everything felt better. So I would strongly urge you to take that into account if you're buying a bike. Better still, if you haven't bought a bike yet, go and get a bike fit to then be able to buy the right size bike after that. If you have bought a bike, still get a bike fit. They cost between £200 and £300. But even if you are on slightly the wrong size bike, that bike fitter will be able to make changes that will make your position more comfortable and more efficient. So it is well worth doing. But yeah, if I'd go back all of that time, I would buy myself a small framed bike to start with. Getting your food and drink intake right on the bike is actually one of the best things that you can do in terms of improving your overall performance. And I don't really think I understood that when I started, because there were several times after or during going up a hill, I would have the dreaded bonk, which is the cycling equivalent of a runner's hitting the wall, where there's just no energy left in the legs at all. You have to stop, you have to wait until those levels come back, you have to get some food in, and it's not a nice experience at all. Once I learned how to eat and drink properly, which sounds ridiculous, but actually it is a real thing that you need to understand and need to learn, my riding took on a different level. The guidance that they give for longer rides is that you should aim to get 1 gram of carbs per kilogram of body weight into the body per hour. So, for example, I'm 72 kilograms. I would need to take in 72 grams of carbs, whether that be through solid food or carb mixed drink or whatever it is, per hour that I'm out on the bike. Now, if I'm out round my local roads for an hour on the bike, I don't need to do that. I can do an hour without worrying about it. But certainly on longer rides, that is a real metric that you could go by, and it will get you through a long ride. So definitely bear that in mind if you're going out for more than an hour. With regards to products themselves, I would always look further than standard product that are produced by bike companies specifically for this, and look at alternatives. One of my favourite products to eat while I'm out on the bike is the Saurine mini loaves, because they're great just for your back pocket. You can get them in, and they're easy to eat. For drink, for a carb mix, I don't use pre-mixed carb mixes from a lot of the manufacturers. I buy a massive bag of maltodextrin from My Protein, like a 2.5 kilogram bag of the stuff, costs you about £8. And it will give you, per scoop, it gives you 50 grams of carbs. So if you get one of those bottles into you in an hour, you're most of the way there. So just a scoop of that filled up with water and a bit of fruit squash in on the top, and you've got yourself a perfect drink. I'm not a big fan of gels. I do use them, but only really in what I would consider dire situations, when I've got nothing else and I need to get something into me. I've had problems with like digestion and stuff like that with gels in the past. You could try quite a few different ones and have different reactions to different brands. So it's about finding something that works for you. For me, I prefer actual food products to the gels and things like that. But don't forget to eat. It's important. Layering is a skill that students of London Fashion Week would be proud of if they watch the cycling community, because the guys out there that are good at it are really good at it. When I started cycling, I didn't really cotton onto this at all. I would look out the window, it would look cold. I mean, I bought my first real bike in a January. I mean, in the middle of winter. What a time to start cycling. So I'd look out the window and it'd look freezing cold. In the kit that I had, or had bought, I'd put on some compression top that was far thicker than a base layer, hardly any wicking capabilities, anything like that. Cycling jacket over the top, and at the top of the first hill, I'd be absolutely sweating buckets. And then obviously with no wicking, I'd get cold when I was going downhill. Or there was one occasion when I got to the top of a hill, I was so hot, I had to strip off by the side of the road, take the compression top off and tie it around my seat post because I had nowhere for it to go. And believe me, no one wants to see that by the side of a road if they're driving past. So layering, understanding layering is great for cyclists. Quite often now, I will go out, still have a base layer on, but a wicking base layer, a jersey with arm warmers, and then a gilet over the top. A gilet is probably one of the most versatile pieces of kit that you will ever buy as a cyclist. So it is worth looking at options of how to build that up, because those kind of things can just unzip off in the back pocket. They roll up pretty small. So it's really good to understand that stuff before you start cycling, or before you go out and, buy some massive cycling jacket that's made for the deepest winter and you're into spring and sweating buckets. So yeah, learn how to layer. It's well worth your time.
One of the main things on my list is that where you can, you should always support your local bike shop. It's really easy in this day and age just to go online and buy everything off the internet. But quite often you'll end up with stuff that isn't right for you, doesn't fit, all of those kind of things, bad tools, everything like that. If you go to your local bike shop, you'll get years of experience and recommendations. And yeah, sometimes you might pay a little bit more money, but you're paying for that knowledge. And if you strike up a good relationship with the people in that bike shop, you'll get valuable service for years to come. And where you've got small problems and just need to duck in for a bit of help, chances are that a lot of the time they'll do it free for you, unless there's some real big work involved. So it's always worth getting to know the people in your local bike shop. They also might have rides that they run and things like that you can go on. And again, it's another avenue into meeting people, meeting other cyclists and becoming part of the community. So yeah, I would definitely make friends with your local bike shop. People always slow down when they see the camera.
This may sound like a common sense one, but you'd be surprised how many people take up cycling and go out on the roads and don't know how to change a tyre or fix an inner tube or any of the basic tasks that go with it. I mean, I knew how to patch an inner tube from days cycling as a kid. You'd stand there with your bucket of water and pump air into the inner tube until you found the bubbles coming out of it. Get your glue out, stick your patch on, all of those kind of things. Those were different times. I mean, these days you just go, you take the tube out, you put a new one in, pump it up and away you go. But you still got to know how to do it. And there are probably other basic maintenance tasks that you really should know if you're going out. How to use a chain tool, how to fix a link in the chain. And that then goes on to carrying appropriate spares with you. So, everyone will go out and carry a spare inner tube and some tyre levers, or if you're running tubeless, there's a dyno plug that will go in and fix cuts and holes in your tyre and allow you to get home. There's all those things. Having a basic multi-tool that will be good that has a chain tool on it, carrying some quick links, all of these things that are kind of useful that you could carry around in a seat pack that could massively help you. And then, like I say, knowing how to perform those basic maintenance tasks, even down to the most basic of tasks, washing your bike. You should wash your bike after every ride, and look, none of us do that, but to keep a very expensive piece of kit working perfectly, you need to take care of it. So you need to know how to take care of it, and you need to have the tools to do it. Now, you can spend thousands of pounds on tools, and believe me, that's a whole other video. But definitely know what basics to take with you and know how to do the minor tasks that will allow you to get home safely. And one thing, although the world is cashless these days after COVID and all of those kind of things, always carry some money in your seat pack. You never know when you might get stuck and you might need it. So that is my tip for your seat pack. Cash still couldn't be king. probably my biggest regret from when I started cycling is that I didn't join a local cycling club. I think back then the self-conscious me who was concerned about what people might think about my fitness, my weight, my bike, all of those things kind of put me off trying to join one of the local clubs. And that was a real shame because it put me off long enough that other things in my life, like kids and being a dad taxi for them to football matches and things like that, got in the way and meant that I could never commit to a certain time for the Saturday rides or something like that. My bike time was very much ad hoc as and when I could fit it in. So yeah, that became a major regret for me, because from what I know now about the local clubs, about them having a very broad range of people in terms of age, fitness, demographic, they cater for so many people. A lot of the clubs will have no drop rides, so all sort of fitness elements are welcome, and they will wait for people and make sure that everyone's together and keep that sense of community. I think if I'd have investigated that and had known that at the start, I really would have been first in the line to join one of those cycling clubs. So maybe in time, when my kids are a bit older and can sort themselves out for their trips to football or whatever it may be, I may well end up joining a club. But as it is at the moment, I'll enjoy meeting new people out on the roads, but it's normally me in the wind by myself. So yeah. So there you go. There's a few things that I wish I'd known when I started cycling again 10 to 12 years ago. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do hit the like button, as it really helps. And do leave me a comment to tell me what things you wish you had known when you started cycling. Or if you are starting to get involved in cycling, what things have you found that have really helped you so far? I like to hear about these things. I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, see ya.